In all our searching, the only thing we've found that makes the emptiness bearable is each other.
In that sense, that's where I see this little corner coming to meet this moment.
Oh, that's a very, I hadn't thought about that.
Because
so just let me make sure I make, and sorry for interrupting, I just want to get it. Instead of the we being, it's like, no, this little corner is a nexus point of many different Christian groups and non-Christian groups, and that nexus point is perhaps the place we should look for as the thing that will rise to the response. Is that what I'm hearing you say? That's really good, Paul.
Just king, great king. People error, people king, big, just king, king. Happy, many down, many jack king from right. Just new king, big, great can new, happy. The owls are not what they seem, the owls. Very just king, great king. People error, people king, big, just king, king. Happy, many down, many jack king from right. Just new king, big, great can new, happy. The owls are not what they seem. The owls are not what they seem. The owls, people very just king, great king. People error, people king, big, just king, king. King, happy, many down, many jack king from right. Just new king, big, great can new, happy. The owls are not what they seem, the owls.
All right. That one's a little self-indulgent. Buddy boy. You're on stage, man. Do something. What? Hurt your ears, doesn't it? I don't know. All right, what? All right, remember, I'm Buddy. There is no agency. And that's Buddy the cat.
Remember, Buddy. There is no agency. We want what's best.
It's a whisper in your ear, now listen here. Remember, Embody, it's all so clear. No hidden strings, no puppeteer. We're by your side, have no fear. I cherish truth. I cherish truth. Remember, Embody, there is no agency. We want what's best for you.
What the hell, StreamYards? Where's my X comment? I made a comment over on X and I don't see it. It's malfunctioning. If you're the other person on X watching this, make a comment thing, because I should be able to highlight them like I did that Almighty Ohm, like I'm doing now with Chad's Behold. Chad's Behold. Behold. Nope, that's a howdy. That's a Behold. Man. You want to know what it's like getting old? Boot up your old computer and then try to do the stuff you do all the time. Try to do the stuff you do all the time on the old computer again, like you used to. And then you'll know what it's like to feels like when you're getting old. When you're getting old.
Like hidden treasure, buried gold. Once more the story must be told. Poet, take up the tale. Tell of the king who will return. Tell of the Holy Grail. Tell of old knights and chivalry. Tell of the pristine mystery of Merlin's Isle of Gramarye. Poet, take up the tale. Take up the tale of courtesy. Take up the tale of grace. Revive the land's long memory. Summon the fair folk. Let them be. Something of fairy, wild and free, still lingers in this place. Lift up your eyes to see the light on Glastonbury Tor, then come down from that far green hill to where the sacred waters spill and shine within the chalice well, and listen to their lore.
Is everything all right
listen
in here?
well
Yes, Daddy.
before you start. Be still ere you begin. See through the surface roundabout, the noise, the rush, the fear, the doubt. Though modern Britain lies without, fair Logres lives within. You may yet walk through Merlin's Isle by oak and ash and thorn. The ancient hills do not forget.
That was the 33rd minute of what happened to be on my browser the last time I turned this computer on. And now, for saving throws versus mind control, you'll need those going forward, you know. In the corner has been swamped with a
mind control.
Mind control.
Mind control.
Mind control.
Saving throws for mind control. So this is how bad I have failed. Receiving
I understand you have respect for serious play.
mind control.
Yes, I have a ritual with my channel where, like reminding fish that they're in water. I remind people that there's a lot of mind control out there, even if you just consider advertising.
So this is how bad I have failed.
I give you a savings throw against the mind control I use against you. So A, you know I'm using it against you, and if it works, I get more points. And B, you get the chance to resist. You base your resistance on your choice between your will to survive, your social networks, your accumulated wisdom, or the power of your heart.
Mind control will continue in a moment.
Hello. I see the assassins have failed. You get to choose between survival, social, wisdom, or heart as what ability you'll use to resist the mind control. Making that choice, you participate, you make the choice. I roll the die. If the number on the die is 10 or higher, you take half damage. If it's under 10, you take full damage, but you're always taking full damage. So it's like, at least you know. Survival, social, wisdom, or heart. Choose. Woo, Indigo's out the box. Survivalist, only a 4. You're going to need a lot of bonuses or a friend. Socialist, though, Parashakra 14. Focus? No. Okay. Wisdom, folks. Para 8, 16. And heart, folks, Para 9, 18. That's pretty impressive. What the Indigo kids get, mother boy? Para 7's 14 as well. That's 4 7s worth of 14s. How interesting. I have cats to deal with. Here, enjoy this one. Now, the most loyalist of the Shadow Cabal will know that there was a little bit of schizo posting, I think they call it. I think they call it schizo posting. That happened on the what do you call it, in the like in the YouTube, when you don't do a video, you can create a post, and like some people see those sometimes, I suppose. And anyway, I made one of those, and you can trace it back. You can trace it back to being presented with the opportunity to actually manifest paintball for Jesus through the courtesy of Rick Walker. And he presented me with, menial office administrative tasks that I would have to perform. And, You know, had I grifted successfully a budgetary enough to afford the expensive Chat GPT, it could have done the whole thing for me, really. But as such, that failed, and faced with that failure and the dog attack and everything else, things shifted, and I tried to resurrect something buried and let it thrive. And it turned anyway. Before being able to be myself again, I made myself clean my room, and fascinatingly, what happened was, I found that the casino deck cards or several of them were under the desk and made them unusable for the stream because you have to have a full deck to shuffle. And in great news, I played some solitaire because that's how you sort the deck. You play a game of solitaire. Anyway. All right, I'm not going any farther. I just told you. I just made it clear to you that you play a game of solitaire to sort the deck, and I'm not giving you anything else until I get a super chat.
And you might wait their wisdom yet. Who knows what wonders might be met on this midsummer morn? So I have taken up the tale to tell it full and free, the tale that makes my heart rejoice. I tell it, for I have no choice. I tell it till another voice takes up the tale from me.
Beautiful.
So that's the kind of, program of the
Yeah.
You must eradicate from your essence childish folly. You must eradicate from yourself childish folly. You must abandon childish things. You must grow up. You must grow up. Grow up. You must grow up. Grow up. You must abandon childish things. You must grow up. You must grow up. Grow up. You must grow up. Grow up. Grow up. Grow up. Grow.
Thank you, Chad. Thank you. That you really saved the day with that one. Okay. So it turns out after I put the deck together, there was only one card that was missing to make it a legit casino shuffle. So the Joker, turns out it's the Joker, so you can still do a mostly shuffle. There's one Joker missing. But the casino deck card of the show is focus. Oh, the Ten of Hearts. Oh, wait, I think I know where the Joker is. Here it is, and this scene here from when that time I was on Benjamin Boys, it's there now.
Very liberals are very allergic to that because in their mind, in our mind, in my mind, that necessarily is associated with Hitler and genocide. Like we can't draw a line without destroying everything. We can't just respect a boundary. That boundary means that we're going to destroy everything that's impure. And so irony is really good at suspending ourselves from all of the detrimental effects of sincerity, like being war and murder, right? But it has its place, and it seems like we didn't teach. And then the kids I saw when I went to Evergreen, they had no awareness of irony anymore. They were completely sincere, and they completely were possessed by the sincerity of social justice. and they were not aware at all of how cringe they were being. They were so caught up in that sincerity, and if they were taught a little bit of irony, they would have tempered them. So I'm just bringing up a topic about the growth of the troll, or the use of the troll, and then the boundaries of the troll, and how the troll allows for sincerity, and how sincerity allows for belief, true belief, to take root.
Whoa, well that's what the fuck, man? You got better weed than I do. That's not a hard one.
Oh no!
Because like most people when they think trolls, it's just I mean, because there's the malicious kind that do it like it's like you don't know the waters in which you swim. Is essentially the lesson the troll has for fresh meat.
Okay, but
there's the whole like. To the extent I was accepted in the community donut, it was as the holy fool, the one that shows the emperor has still got his pants down, to humanize but thereby also legitimize. Like if he's worth making fun of, that elevates him, right?
Yeah.
First of all, discussing 4chan publicly in a context like this, in some kind of studious or serious context, violates the ethos of 4chan. You know, who am I?
He served a podcast with my daughter, Michaela Peterson, twice. I think that's an admirable moral principle.
What you are saying, to be the opposite of Kathy Newman in this context, is accurate in that a lot of powerful people are there through inertia, are there through nepotism, are there through corporate memes because they play the game.
Hail Hydra.
There is this
We want what's best for you.
Midwestuary 2025, August 22nd through the 24th in Elmhurst, Illinois. A weekend you won't want to miss, with special guests Cale Zelby, Paul Vanderklay, Rod Dreher, Elizabeth Oldfield, John Vervaeke, and Jonathan Pajot. Midwestuary 2025, the Fellowship of the Spirit. Stay tuned for more details. Visit us at midwestuary.com for ongoing updates.
Why you're seeing corn emojis in the Hive Mind chat is because these people know that Chad the Girl Dad and Nidalet and corn icon, that counts, right? Okay, you see, if you type it out, you get +2 to next stream saves. But if you make corn emoji, you get 4. So like Cassandra gets +4 to next stream, +2 here. There's 4 for Chads, 4 for Chads. Nidalet, you got it, and that's just like it. Nope, still. All right, so you get the +2, CC. Look at that bird lady she is. Is that video still up? I like that, where you draw the birdlets. And so, oh yeah, doing that city thing. She's some city thing we're looking into. It's her fault. It's her fault that I'm on this rig right now, because one time I told to her that I would get all the lobster monkey files, and all those files are on this computer, and I have to put a USB thing in there and get the files out there from this computer. I got to get them from this computer out, to Cece, because she wanted them once, and I finally did it. Meanwhile, best poker hand out of 9. Okay, all right. If you want plus 6 to next stream saves, make the best poker hand you can out of 9 of clubs, 5 of clubs, 10 of hearts, 4 of clubs, 2 of diamonds, 6 of clubs, jack of clubs. That's a straight jack high, man. Shut up. Okay. Sorry.
There's a lot of whistling past the graveyard going on, for sure.
Whistling past the graveyard. That's a good one.
Yeah. Woo-hoo, woo-hoo.
Everyone's going to see a lot of that. You understand?
All right, and that's Jonathan Dumire, a special secret agent we are sending to examine and infiltrate estuaries by this Don Van Donk villain. Maybe he's villain? Shh. Oh. There's a Sartori Studios tie-in available here, I think. Van Donk's a villain trying to sell estuary to corporate peoples for lots of thousands of dollars. And we're sending Jonathan Dumire and the agent background buddy cop movie, a buddy movie. We're sending Dumire and a buddy to estuaries across the nation on the road trip called the Remember Embody Road Trip Estuary Infiltration thing. And so you'll be seeing a lot of that there. And when you see him, make him do it. Make him do the whistling past the graveyard thing, Jonathan. Do it.
There's a lot of whistling past the graveyard going on, for sure.
Whistling past the graveyard. That's a good one.
Yeah. Woo-hoo, woo-hoo.
Yes, trolls can have noble goals, but it's just like it's not people in a healthy state of mind usually that are performing the service, but it's still a service on some levels.
Huh.
I'm terribly concerned about, because like when we grew up, they were like, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" And like when they grew up, it's like, who gets to diddle you? That was your big decision to make in high school, was like, do you get to be diddled by straight people, or do you get to be diddled by, and that was the new thing. So how do we make hard men grow from that soil of the current education system?
That's a good fucking question. I think it's by initiation rituals, which I call the God Mask, available over on my Substack. It consists of 4 phrases. And if this was ever becomes a Kintsugi cut, then those 4 phrases will follow. But in case they don't, they go as follows. Hi, kid. You should know this, and you should burn it into your mind like if it was a mask that gave you superpowers, and like written inside that mask, you put it on like this. You put it on like this. There's 4 sayings inside the mask. They go like this. They go like this. It goes, this is a PvP server. And you're like, if I'm talking to you, you've been in video games. You know what I'm talking about when I say PvP server, which means like you could be a level 4 noob and they could grab you off the street and throw you into a satanic ritual abuse program, which puts an altar into you because like the trauma, you create a sub-persona to take all the pain that you can turn off. It holds it like a shadow box like this. And what? It's Yeah, and so that Nathan Reynolds guy is the first person you can point to say that Mr. Glass taught us that multiple personality disorder is a superpower. 5 of hearts, right? Yeah, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 against 1.
Did you get that on video? No. Mom, I'm not going to. No, that's I'll show you next time. Look, the gators, obviously. You got that? Send me that. 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 Hey, yo. I just feel bad for this game. My dog is trying to get me. Yes, okay.
You know, guys, we got to get this LARPgate shit off the ground. And so to do your part, I'm not going to, you don't have to gratitude sacrifice in the top of the hive mind or do super chats or anything. That's fine. But if you are logged into the YouTube, preferably as a premium subscriber, because that makes our channels more, like that makes your view of the channel worth more. So to as an expression of your selfhood, if you wanted to have more weight, go ahead and subscribe to YouTube Premiums. But I think anybody logged in, even the people that watch the commercials for money, like I'll subject myself to mind control so I don't have to pay $1. Those people, even those people can hit the clip button. Hey, speaking of those people, how you doing mostly? You can hit the clip button when the branding plays like that, so that when the send me that thing plays, you can just clip it and send it to people. LARP! We have the ability to LARP and LARP hard. LARP! We have the ability to LARP and LARP hard. That was a McMo one, I think. I believe that was a McMo masterpiece. I think that was his stylistic impression, signature thereof. Okay. And as we face the upcoming replacement, the great replacement, you thought it was about skin color. Now you too can just tell an AI bot to make branding for you, so you should know, if you're gonna do that every time you make a branding, you're supposed to have a signature. It's your signature branding. You can tell McMo by style generally, Chad as well, but he's like, when Chad does these opens here, like this is a Franco. And I don't know if you got but I always can tell it's him. But this is a McMo. In the corner has been swamped with a mind control. Mind control. Mind control. Mind control.
Seethings throws for mind control. So this is.
And I'll do a +7 to anybody who knows who this one's by.
My dad's making it hurt.
And whoosh.
McMo is holding that ransom. He's holding it ransom, and you can pay the ransom over at his Ko-Fi. You can find that link somewhere on his page on his streams on Saturdays and Sundays usually. Whereas mine is right there at the top of the right there, actually at the top of the Hive Mind. Or maybe on X, it's like you're down here. Hey. I'm watching X over here, so I'm giving myself a view. It says there's 24 of us right now. That's interesting because there's it's like that's okay. So these shows that we have on YouTube are like boats on oceans, right? But now we're multi-planar and multiple. I could even be on Twitch right now. You could just like cross-plat by the power of StreamYard's referral link below. Like, if you're going to support anybody by getting into StreamYarding with StreamYards, it should be me, Me? There's a button they put that I can share the referral link. There you go with little googly eyes. Googly eyes, for sake.
Because if one learns to put a lid on feelings, it's very hard to open up the lid for feeling A, but close it for feeling B.
Yo soy una hija del Inti Sol, de la Pachamama y del Inti Sol. Yo soy hermana del pueblo Coya, del Inti hermano y de la Aymara, de la Aymara. Yo misma me guío a la libertad, el Aymara.
devastate you. And rejoice although this world will penetrate you. And rejoice although you will not survive. Rejoice you'll never make it out alive.
Excellent rehearsal, gentlemen.
And rejoice, your hair it smells like burning hair. Oh, rejoice, your nails all got chewed off. Oh, rejoice, and holy fuck, you're bleeding there. Oh, rejoice, you burn your whole beard off. Rejoice despite the fact this world will hurt you. And rejoice despite the fact this world will kill you. And rejoice despite the fact this world will tear you to shreds. Rejoice because you're trying your best.
Hey, I love that one. That's gorgeous.
Thank you, brother. Wait, who's that brother?
Andrew Jackson.
We might have too much inside baseball going on right now. That happens from time to time. It's not like it's a cult, though. It's not like it's a cult, though. It's a LARP. It's a game. There's going to be a player's handbook where there's the ship captains and like who you are and who you can be, like depending on how you participate. It's a skill hierarchy of lobster monkeys. Not, it's the kind of thing where you have to have the dedication of 2 pens.
Imagine a world where boundaries blur between reality and fiction, with Mikhail Gorbachev leading the charge. Gorbachev didn't just challenge political norms, he dared to break the fourth wall in storytelling. "Tear down that fourth wall," he exclaimed, inviting us into a new era of engagement. His metaphorical call wasn't for Berlin alone. It was a clarion call to storytellers and audiences alike. Engage directly, break barriers, and foster a dialogue. Gorbachev's words echo in the halls of creativity. As storytellers, it's our turn to tear down that fourth wall, inspired by Gorbachev's daring challenge.
There, that's the 2
Join
pens
us in
right
this
there.
creative
you see?
revolution. Tear down the walls that
creative
define your
revolution.
stories. Share, like, and subscribe for more inspiration.
All right, I got a whole card to get through. Yeah. The quite nothing part. Gee, that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be fun. Meanwhile, I was going somewhere else or something. Now you've lost me. Now you've lost me. What's on your mind, guys? How do I watch on X? It's a tech learning curve. I found it by going to my profile. And if you find my profile, it's supposed to be right there underneath, I think. I still haven't gotten any chats, so I don't know if that's working or not. If I touch it, it makes little green hearts. Oh wait, I saw one. I saw the one I left, but it still hasn't showed up in StreamYard. So I'm gonna have to complain to those guys. The thing of it is, man, as far as X works, this would be better as a space than like you just a space with video. What the, why? Is there a reason that Elon Musk does not want to work with the StreamYards thing that was started by a couple guys like 4 miles from Langley? Is there a reason Mr. Musk doesn't want to have Twitter integrations with that? Proper ones? I don't know, man. What do you think? No, it's just the Twitter was never set up for video, and this is all awkward, bespoke bullshit. Bespoke is the worst word. I hate it.
What's reality? I don't know. When my bird was looking at my computer monitor, I thought, that bird has no idea what he's looking at. And yet, what does the bird do? Does he panic? No, he can't really panic. He just does the best he can. Is he able to live in a world where he's so ignorant? Well, he doesn't really have a choice. The bird's okay, even though he doesn't understand the world. You're that bird looking at the monitor, and you're thinking to yourself, I can figure this out. Maybe you have some bird ideas.
So I saw out there in the Hive Mind chat. You see, that's the beauty of doing it live. We're virtually not alone. We're sharing attention space, which is the advertisers seem to want it, and we're just sharing it with each other instead. And what happened was, Cassandra says, we need a sorority. And that made me think, you know what would be the best? It would be the best, and it's a little bit manipulative, right? But if you form an estrogen brigade and call it an estrogen brigade, and it gets popular enough, then I would have grounds to like have a fringe encounter with the Coveney fella, the person responsible for programming many young minds to like redheads awkwardly and aliens. Special thanks to the Shadow Cabal.
So say we all. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Ho, ho, ho.
Now what'll that asshole think of next? Is anybody got a dime?
Yeah, I gotta turn that off anyway.
We all know that there is no agency any living gent can see doing what is right for me. Just lifting up my bro so he can grow some eyes to see that doing what is right for me increases all our agency.
Like it's got its own category, and people have these like as though enculturated programmed responses, and it's almost Orwellian.
Yeah.
Frankly, like.
Yeah. I don't know. It's been challenging. It's been challenging.
I think we tried. I think we kind of leaned into. I mean, there's a sense in which I don't know. How do you feel? Like I feel like I have kind of been radicalized. Like not maybe not like politically in the way some people might wish, because politics is hard. It's like there's a lot to not like about it. Aside from like the partisanship, I think it's like the perverse incentives. There's just something kind of distasteful for like the people who are supposed to be served by the process, but. I mean, I care more about policy for sure, and therefore politics is much more relevant to me. But I also care deeply about not succumbing to ideological reflexive prejudice in my politics. It's like I feel like I want to be engaged. I want to see positive change, but I don't want to be like these people who, when confronted with somebody's personal feelings, like resort as though naturally to a polemical response.
And here we are. I mean, we're just two white people.
Yeah, you know how I psychologically prepared for this? I took a bath and listened to U2's Joshua Tree, which is probably the most white thing you could ever do.
I mean, yeah. So I mean, what I'm trying to say is like, we're white people, and we're suddenly like, we're being sort of. I don't know what the word is, but we're being aware of the sort of nature of these
or
things,
at least saying like hey,
and how much worse, I guess, like how much worse for somebody who is trying to share their experience as a Black person of color, how much more challenging for them to try to share their experience and how people
at least
react to
for me
it.
personally, I feel like it opened up my moral imagination to at least be sensitive to the possibility, you know, God forbid, of like another perspective. Because yeah, it's like, because my experience of abject prejudice in the face of just what I had personally experienced, it's like, how could I not empathize with how much worse it must be to encounter abject prejudice because of simply who you are or how you seem to exist in the world. I don't have that problem. But I mean, I remember like Andre Henry, who, you know, is like an artist, musician. I think he's become somewhat infamous for he carried this giant boulder that he wrote the names of the people who died and various like aspects of racial trauma on, and it was supposed to symbolize like the weight of the Black experience. But on Andre had, this is Twitter again, had like this, and so I was aware of him. And after the George Floyd thing happened, like he had for some reason foolishly put his cell phone number on his Twitter page. And I was like, and I just started texting him.
That's what you do. You're a big texter.
I'm a big text. Well, but now I am like partially because of the Andre Henry experience. So like I started texting. He was like very gracious.
And I'm going to read it to you. I have no idea what to make of it. It's written in a female hand. So that's about all I can tell, but there's no address or name on it. This isn't a question, but a comment, or more accurately, perhaps, a message. I spent this past weekend in an ayahuasca ceremony, which for those of you who don't know, is a South American visionary plant medicine. Some of you may roll your eyes at this, but ayahuasca brings you into direct contact with the archetypal realm of being. Users of this medicine, initiates I should say, refer to ayahuasca as she, because the spirit of the plant is decidedly feminine. An encounter with ayahuasca is an encounter with the great mother of creation, the goddess, the void from which all things come, the feminine counterpart of Logos. Dr. Peterson, you appeared in one of my ayahuasca visions. Might account for why I've been rather fatigued lately. Dr. Peterson, you appeared in one of my ayahuasca visions, and I asked her, who is Jordan Peterson? What is he doing? Which is something I'd really like to know as well. And she responded with crystalline clarity, quote, "Here, he is here to invoke and initiate the divine masculine principle on earth at this time." So I'm up here. The truth. Elite contempt. And to some degree, it was associated with the political class. But on further analysis, it's not the political class. Right. It's the chattering literati, the chattering educated literati. And I actually happen to think that that's the case. That
are we taking this agitprop at face value instead of mocking it, clowning it, and basically rendering the tool impotent? These are not
just king, great king. People error, people king, big just king, king. Happy, many down, many jack, king from right. Just new king, big, great, can, new, happy. The owls are not what they seem, the owls. People very just king, great king. People error, people king, big, just king, king. Happy, many down, many jack, king from right. Just new king, big, great, can, new, happy. The owls are not what they seem. The owls are not what they seem. The owls, people very just king, great king. People error, people king, big, just king, king. King, happy, many down, many jack, king from right. Just new king, big, great, can, new, happy. The owls are not what they seem. The owls.
Things that are personal questions. You don't talk politics or religion at the table. But think of it this way. If I wrote a book about Christianity and I did a whole bunch of podcasts about Christianity, and somebody said to me, "Are you gay?" And I said, "That's a personal question. I really don't want to answer it." That would be totally reasonable. Like, there are times where that works. Or if I had written a book about gay rights and was doing podcasts about the history of homosexuality and how society's treated them, and someone were to say to me, "Are you a Christian?" then yeah, it would be valid to say that's a personal thing. I don't want to answer that. But Peterson.
First, if you don't know who Jordan Peterson was, let me spin you a tale, and I won't even dive into the clips for that. I'll allow the Kensuke cut to have its way. Once upon a time, it was way back when they were forcing their pronouns in your mouth, like they were making you say it with your mouth. They were like their pronouns, your mouth, bitch. When that was happening, there was this bill in Canada, the Fallen. If you want to see what the liberal hellhole leads to, look north. Look north. We'd be rescuing it by making it the 45th, 45th, 51st, 52nd. Let's get another one in there first, make them feel left out. Back when they were sticking the pronouns in your mouth, after they had groomed your children at 6 years old to know how homosexuals have orgasms and how to pleasure themselves, and then they did it through the books, the school books, that not the books that the expensive books that they claim, well, those too later, but first they did it by the books that came like in the reading list. Like, here, read these books for cookies, and the books that they were reading were graphically and cartoonish, and everybody was on their phones, so we didn't know this and stuff. And like, what, you want me to go to a PTA meeting? I got to microwave this plastic for the children's and watch my soap operas. I like the Grey's Anatomy. Is that still running? What are they season? Yes. Like, you could have watched Grey's Anatomy your whole life. What?
Elite contempt. And to some degree, it was associated with the political class. But on further analysis, it's not the political class. Right. It's the chattering literati, the chattering educated literati. And I actually happen to think that that's the case, that
are we taking this agitprop at face value instead of mocking it, clowning it, and basically rendering the tool impotent? These are not kind, caring people who care about your
Evanescent.
Where by your performance, you're turning a third party by exploiting their weaknesses into an unwitting performer on their own.
You know, you need a bit of it, but you can't have too much of it. The networks have to assume that everybody watching has no memory and no education and no attention span, because the bandwidth requirements demand that. And now that's all gone. That's not an insult, by the way.
Sure.
It was in some sense, you're documenting something that's so revolutionary that even the people using it don't know how revolutionary it is. So let me ask you about this. So now all of a sudden, the network, everyone's a TV station. Okay, so now...
Hail Hydra.
Look.
There's 20 more seconds I forgot about.
If you take 10 kids and you have them play the same game, all the kids get to play the game, but not all of them get to play the game they wanted to at that moment. But at least...
LARP! We have the ability to LARP and LARP hard.
Keep it coming. Never go. I'll never die. I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away.
All right, so first you have to understand it's not circular reasoning; it's a spiral upwards. I think if you can pull it out and piece the strings together in coherent sense if you want. But so there was this once upon a time they were putting the pronouns in your mouth and they were doing the bill legislation. Legislation is like once upon a time people had these things called rights. And what they would do is like they would vote people around them like where they know where they lived. So like if the guy screwed you over in Congress, you could egg his house kind of stuff. Don't ever do that. That's wrong. But when that was like that, like we'd send those people up to make the laws to stop the neighbors from doing stupid shit. And so that was basically their job. But what happened was those people started anyway. So that's how the system's supposed to work, right? They make the laws and stuff. And up in Canada, they were making one that said, "Hey, if you don't let me stick my pronoun in your mouth, if you don't, my pronoun doesn't come out of your mouth, you don't spit it back at me. You don't do that. If you don't, you stupid, then you can go to jail and you lose your career and stuff. You could lose your career if you stand in front of the long billboard, Amy lady. You could lose your career and stuff." They were trying to pass that law. And then this Jordan Peterson man said, "You can throw my ass in jail. I'm not letting you stick your pronouns in my mouth. And I have suspenders." And they make the liberals cry. I think that's like the Oregon of the meme, is it not? Was she not crying? No, that was a Trump election, probably. What was the worst liberal tears they had from the suspender days? We should show those. But that's what happened. That's how Jordan Peterson came into power on the internet back in the first presidency of the enlightened one, before Emperor Vance. And then he was since he was his best friend in college was controlled opposition. His Majesty's controlled opposition. That's what Wikipedia told me. And then he got with the symbologist wizard and the tribal Indian man to make him a hat called the Keck hat. And he put on the Keck hat and then rose even farther to fame and ended up on Joe Rogan, which is a mainstream now, bitch. And we all should admit that. That's why they banned THC products in Texas to try and get rid of Joe Rogan, who is being accused of trying to establish the new Hollywood for after the earthquake. It's after the earthquake? Yeah, dude. Remember it. We
The list? Yes, any of the first level ones.
I'm gonna get a soda. Anyone want one? Hey, Graham, I'm not in the room, right?
What room? I want to cast magic missile.
The room where he's casting all these spells from.
He hasn't cast anything yet. I am though, if you'd listen. I'm casting magic missile. Why are you casting magic missile? There's nothing to attack here. I'm attacking the darkness.
Ron Copperman, that's a 10-yard penalty for not being in bed after you made these ZZZs in chat. But well done. Those are plus. Do you still get the bonus, right? What? Oh, this is a very old computer now. You're used to such fine, fluid movements. Like, this thing may have shut down for all I know. I've clicked media assets in StreamYards 5 minutes ago. No, 3 seconds ago. And it is yet to load. What? Pen wants out now. They're so demanding. I'm talking as if you can hear me, despite the fact I see nothing but a spinning whirl. A spinning whirl on this end, so I can only imagine what you're going through. My apologies to everyone.
Slime! What? It's a river of slime!
So this is a PvP server, is the first line of the God Mask. And that's so you know that despite the fact you're a level 1 noob, you could walk outside and a bear just come up and eat your ass, or worse things, as I think we've already discussed. So you know that, like, it doesn't matter. It's PvP. You could have been born on as a slave. Like, you've won the birth lottery, I suspect, if you're watching this stream, compared to a lot of other people on the planet. Like, and you should recognize that, because you are an image bearer of God. And what are you doing with that? Wait, no, second line of the God Mask is the beast takes what it wants and gets what it gets. The smoothest analogy to explain that to everybody I can understand is fishing and fish hooks, because we know fish are not advanced organisms with all the lobes like we have, right? And so they take what they won't. They just eat it. Like, you could be, that's a good example of a PvP server too, really. Like that stupid movie everybody hates with Jar Jar Binks, right? That part when they're swimming through in the little magic thing and it shows you like just bigger fish will always eat your ass. That was encoded there. And bigger fish, that's the PvP server part. In fact. But it's like that. It's like that, but the water's mind controls. No, back. It takes what it wants. It's the beast, but it gets what it gets, which is the fish hook. The fish hook angle of the metaphor is it gets what it gets. So That's the reason you don't want to be the beast, but the third line of the God Mask is that man protects the sacred. That's the difference between you and the beast you're riding around in. Like a gorilla apparently twerks. Dog whistle. Steve Skojek says it's a dog whistle that the gorilla, female gorilla, twerks. And then nothing that you could. It's obviously twerking. That the female gorilla, that was a dog whistle. That the video. Well, who let the dogs out? Who? Oh, hi. I'm gonna see if I can get this in the right order. They built a beautiful church. And then the dog-headed saw the light and heard the bell. Mia Shore was shared. Metal was what was shared? What does that say? You see, very still. Focus. This is how I steer. This is me chasing this net, you know. Yeah. This is how I steer. Yeah. This is me chasing this net, you know. Yeah. This is how I steer. All right, so this Jordan Peterson cat, he goes up on Rogan, and then what happens is his wife gets a mysterious disease, and he signs a book tour and gets marched around by the emperor penguins on a book tour, and and gets strung out on benzos after they gave his wife cancer. And then they put him in a coma to get off the benzos, a coma in Russia. And now he works within the Daily Wire. And did you know that there's a circle of string or something wrapped around New York City? Isn't that weird? Bonus card, deuce of hearts. A lot of heart tonight. You're part of it now. Is the fourth line in the God Mask. You're part of it now. You always have been. It's a little bit like that scene in Schindler's List. Like when they're all at the train and he's like, if I had sold this button, I could have saved one more. Like that. Except you've been doing your whole life this time. You're supposed to be the image bearing the image. But we got to get by, boss. We got to get by. And then I have a card I'm supposed to get through. The quite nothing bit. I think did I let that play? Maybe you didn't. Yeah. I think that. Yeah, you ran it. You got to be thorough. Okay, so he comes back and they march him around on another book tour, and now he's working for the Daily Wire, and you can. All right, he went over Exodus, right? Right. Did he mention how it takes 3 weeks to walk across that desert? 3 weeks, and that if you do it for 40 years, and there's a cultural identity that you're carrying with you. Like if you have a culture, hey, we do the hot dogs and the baseball and the apple pie. Yeah, you do that, right? And if you take those people and you march them in the desert for 40 years and all the old ones die off and the young ones, they know nothing about baseball and apple pie and they don't know that anymore. And after 40 years, all the ones that knew anything about apple pie, they're all gone. I don't know that he pointed that out when he went over his Exodus seminar, and so that's suspicious. And then he also didn't seem to point out the part in there that says, you know what, none of that, if your brother needs $1 and you loan him $1, you can't charge him $1.25 back. None of that usury stuff on your brother, on your people. And if you do that for 2,000 years, how do you think that works out? Do what? If you only do usury on people who aren't your people, if you only charge interest to the other people, what's the compound interest on that play? I don't know if that line of that's Exodus, and I don't know if he pointed out that if we get the widows and the orphans to call out specifically, if it's specifically the widows and the orphans to call out, then that it invokes deific intervention. I don't think he covered that either. So the question is not, are you a Christian, Jordan Peterson? The question is, are you a Jew? Are you a Jew? We do have the education you provided for the one Kanye West, which you might as well run. It's one of your most popular videos. Really? Yes. One of your most successful videos is videos. Who's that guy? Popular. This one. It's only 2 minutes. You'll love it.
Somebody cares for you and hopefully can be a friend. Yay. I gotta say, these words and the words about Jews is not the words of a samurai, of a great man. I would say, you said something that resonated with a lot of people when you said George Bush doesn't care about black people. I have to say, as somebody who cares for you, that Ye, the artist formerly known as Kanye West, doesn't care about Jewish people. In the same way you spoke about George Bush being a politician and not giving a fuck about the poor people that suffered after Katrina, you're not giving a fuck about the suffering of the Jewish people across the world.
Why? Why am I not?
Because you're giving strength, motivation.
But we already updated. I gave an apology. You said it wasn't good enough.
Yeah, that's right.
Now you're telling me, no, I'm not gonna.
No. You don't need to kiss anyone's dick. What
you're asking me to kiss.
You have to say it was wrong to say. There's no Jewish media. There's no Jewish.
There isn't.
There's no control of the media by Jewish people.
You're an engineer, brother. If you're an engineer and you're not holding to the truth, that's not engineering.
Engineering is not. That's hate. That's not engineering. Engineering.
Here's the situation. All right. Jews are overrepresented in positions of power and authority. But then let's open our eyes a little bit, and think for like 2 or 3 seconds and think, hey, guess what? They're also overrepresented in positions of competence. And it's not like we have more geniuses than we know what to do with. And if the Jews happen to be producing more of them, which they are, by the way, then that's a pretty good thing for the rest of us. So let's not confuse competence with power and authority, even though that's a favorite trick of the radical leftists who always fail to make that distinction. Well, why does this overrepresentation occur? Because it does. There's also overrepresentation in political movements, including radical political movements. Okay, why? Well, answer one, Jewish conspiracy. Okay, that's not a very good answer. We've used that answer before. All right, but do we have an...
What's the only thing scarier than a Nazi? A brown one? That's probably a more accurate question, Spatch. That's probably a more accurate question. And then you can ask Jonathan Pageau and his brother about the garments of skin. The garments of skin? Okay, you got a card to go through, man. Let's do this. Louis C.K. Okay, you guys remember Louis C.K. and how he got into trouble for his naughtiness? Do you know why he got into the trouble for his naughtiness? I mean, you have to understand now that it's a matter of discretion who does and does not get in trouble for their naughtiness. So what could it be that Louis C.K. did that made it happen? It's at that bit at the end of his Netflix special where he says, "Watch what we can do with human suffering," about the pyramids and every great achievement of humankind. And that was because it was too, you're not supposed to know the American dream, be under the American dream. Like, okay, say you got like a whole mess of slaves, right? Why don't you treat one group really, really bad, really, and then they'll think that they're above them, the other one. Why? Anyway, the quite nothing. That's the bit we were doing. It's you saw that Jordan Peterson gets owned by the guy who looks 12 but he's 40. That guy. Turns out our good friend Upcycle Club did Pastor Paul the biggest favor ever and snatched him one of the guys from that video to do his response, because Pastor Paul had to do a response to Jordan Peterson getting publicly pooned the way he did. There had to be some sort of response, you know.
So say we all. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Ho, ho, ho.
And Upcycle Club hit him the biggest softball and got this guy on there. Not that guy. This guy from here on to talk. Here's a piece of that.
Words, even using. You go to church if you words. It just that's what it can feel like for us sometimes with the Peterson stuff, where it's like, no, you are religious because, and this is not something he has said literally, but it's like, you are religious because you have hobbies. And what is a hobby? A hobby is something that you're devoted to and you enjoy and you do frequently. And, you know, you have a community and all those things describe church. So like you go to church if you play pickleball, and it's like, no. And the thing I didn't say in the video is I actually, it bothers me on kind of not to be offended on behalf of other people, but like, it almost bothers me on behalf of my friends who are religious, because like I have friends who are super Christian and it means so much to them. It's like, okay, you're kind of you're kind of trivializing this, and it's we lost him.
I guess that was the important part. I am, buddy. We got this. Okay, so half of the stuff on this card I'm totally not going to do on this old rig. I'm going to get these files off and put things back to right. And we'll do like the other half of this card then. Diabetes of the Mind is the spoiler alert. If you're on the X, you can get the spoilers. What flavor squirt? The Anti-Semite Sabbath. Right. All right. So That's part of next streams. The anti-Semite Sabbath, that's next streams too. But here we have at the bottom, one I'll do. It's called Free Range Eugenics Messiah. That's really the best gamble any of us have, is that the best way to get a Messiah is by free range eugenics and not by selective genetic engineering, tinkering, and breeding. What else? Okay. Save Sativa and Marissa Tomei. Well, we'll go back over those some other time. We covered his history, his schmack. Yeah, we did that, and then we finished the God Mask, and everybody felt virtually not alone, and there was lots of nice donations and stuff. Like the Pickleballer's life. What they only have the Kofi one saved. There was super stickers and stuff. But thanks to that person and everybody else for being here, making the rest of us feel virtually not alone. I sure hope you guys tried that clip thing. You see, you're just LARPing right now as somebody who watches YouTube, probably. The thing of it is, you can LARP harder than that. We got this game going called LARPgate. You can become a Reaper, and there's levels, but it's better than just being LARPing, but like you're an audience still. So say we all. You can't even end the stream fast on this rig.